Welcome to the Game Changer with Dr. Sharalyn, where purpose meets performance and leaders are built to shift legacies. I'm Dr. Sharalyn Payne, executive strategist, speaker, and the secret weapon behind leaders who drive transformation at the highest levels. Each episode delivers bold truths, power skills, and real-world strategies to help you lead with precision, show up with presence, and build the kind of influence that outlasts trends. This is the space where high-impact decisions are born, where influence is intentional, and where the bold don't just lead, they change the game. So if you're ready to rise, ready to lead, and ready to create the kind of impact that moves markets, missions, and minds, you're in the right place. What if I tell you that some of the most powerful leadership breakthroughs I've ever experienced didn't come from following best practices, but from breaking them? This episode is for every leader who's been asked to shrink to fit, who's been told to play the game, not change it, who's leading from a place of truth, but being pressured to lead from a place of performance. These are the 7 rules I had to break to lead well, not for attention, but for alignment. And if you've been carrying the cost of conformity, this is your permission to lead from your full power. Rule number 1, the leader always goes last. We've been taught to let others talk first to show humility. But here's the thing. Real leadership is knowing when to step up and when to step back. I often let others speak first, but not because I don't have anything to say. It's because I want to hear the undercurrent of the room before I add weight to the conversation. I once asked my team, "What do you see that I don't?" And the quietest voice in the room ended up saving us millions and totally transformed the way we did business. Leadership means going first, not just in success, but in discomfort, decisions, and difficult conversations. Who needs to speak before you do this week? Rule 2, fit in to get ahead. I was told early on to adapt, to blend in, to not be too much. But the truth, I was brought in to transform, not to please, not to play it safe, not to make people comfortable. One time I turned down a promotion. Why? Because accepting that promotion was going to cost me way too much. It would mean diluting who I was. 6 months later, a better opportunity aligned with my voice, how I led, and who I was, not just my resume, landed before me. In a culture that rewarded popularity over principles, I chose integrity, even when it was expensive. Let me ask you a question. Where are you shrinking to be accepted? Rule 3, keep faith out of the workplace. I used to hide the very thing that kept me anchored, my faith. Not to convert others, but because I thought that's what professional meant. Until one day someone said, "I feel safe around you because you lead from something deeper." And we began to have a conversation about who I was, how my faith shaped me, how it was central to how I led, how I supported others, what I stood for, what I was all about. That's when I knew deep within that I didn't need to preach. I just needed to be rooted and grounded in who I was. So let me ask you this question. What core belief are you muting that could actually be your greatest leadership asset? Rule 4, feedback is always a gift. Sometimes feedback is truth. And sometimes, let's be real, it's just simply projection. An exec once told me that I was too bold. Someone else said that I was stoic. Someone else said I lacked emotion. Someone else said I needed to tone it down. Somebody else said I needed to turn it up with intention. Here's the thing. Everyone has an opinion. As leaders, we must be cognizant of the feedback that we give people. Is it specific? Does it truly matter? Does it stroke our ego? Is it helping the person move to their next level? Is it hindering them from becoming all that they can be in that organization or even the next organization? Is it a blind spot that they're simply unaware of? Why are we sharing the feedback? You see, discernment is a leadership superpower. Feedback without context is just noise. So, what feedback have you internalized that needs to be released? Rule number 5, keep it comfortable. Here's the thing, innovation doesn't come from comfort. It comes from having courageous conversations, being bold enough to have the conversations that need to be had. I once created a subculture in a culture of compliance, and it wasn't welcomed by the outsiders. But for my team, it meant everything. It was one that welcomed challenge, it welcomed disagreement, and it welcomed and celebrated honesty. In one meeting, I said, I want you to push me. I don't want you to hold back on me. Don't protect me from the truth because that's what I need to hear. And that meeting changed everything for us. It was the foundation for us to begin to win award after awards, to be celebrated for who we are, what we were able to achieve, and what we were able to accomplish to cement our brand and our reputation as professionals who knew what we were doing, but also who could have fun in the workplace. That's how I garnered the reputation of being a leader who was able to generate revenue, to transform people and cultures. A person who was likened to a Navy SEAL, and I never served a day in the military. I invited dissent, not division, because disagreement is often the birthplace of genius. So, are you managing comfort or multiplying creativity? Rule number 6, shine alone. I don't need to be the face of every win, but I'll gladly fight for others to have their moments, to bring them to the forefront and to share what they did and how they contributed to the team being successful. After a major win, I gave the mic to an instrumental member of our team in front of everyone. And I talked about how the challenge really originated with this particular team member who challenged us to go all out to hit this particular number. That moment, it changed how the team saw themselves. It changed how they saw me. It changed what we were able to accomplish together. And although we hit our goal, we knocked it out the ballpark, we did what we thought was impossible. We hit the insurmountable goal, accomplished the insurmountable goal. But it pushed us to do more. It pushed us to elevate how we work together. What was possible? Could we sustain it? So, who needs to be publicly elevated by you this week? Who do you need to call out because of their contribution, because of their ideas, because of their level of support, because they challenge you, because they make things easier? Rule number 7, don't be too much. My bold voice, once deemed way too intense, became the very force that broke cycles and built culture. I wasn't too much. In spite of what they said, I was exactly what we needed, what our company and the moment demanded. And I almost allowed them to silence me, to steal my voice, to take from me who I was and what I knew I was there to do. So the question is, what part of you have you muted that it's time to reintroduce to the people around you? Because you're not too much. You're exactly what's needed. Their fears and their insecurities are not your problem. You're there to do a job. You're there to transform. You're there to change the game. You're there to elevate. You're there to generate results and to make a difference. So, yes, it can be too much for some, and that's okay. And we must learn to be okay with the people who are uncomfortable around us, those who don't want to elevate, those who want you to decrease so that they can increase, those who don't want you to be who you are. So unmute yourself, reintroduce yourself, and use your voice. Use all of you that you know can make a difference. So here's a bonus rule. Make it look easy. I stopped performing with ease and I started practicing transparency. You see, my team didn't need a superhero. They needed someone real, someone willing to say, this is hard and I'm still here. This is hard, but we can do this. And there were times where I made things look so easy that people thought they could do it without me. They thought they could give it to someone else and take it from me. And what was really interesting is that when it landed with someone else, it always came back to me because I was doing what was natural for me, what came easy for me. I'm a natural problem solver, and I'm able to get to the root of the issue very quickly and systematically and get things done. I'm able to take the complex and make it simple. And everyone can't do that, but I made it look easy. And often my team and the leaders never knew what was really happening, what we were truly experiencing, what we were truly up against. Was I wearing a mask? No, I don't think so. It was just core to who I am. But I will ask you this question. What mask do you need to take off? Which of these rules were you taught to follow? And what would your leadership look like if you broke them with wisdom? You see, leadership isn't about compliance, it's about courage. This isn't about rebellion, it's about reform and revolution. If this episode gave you permission to show up bolder, fuller, or even more anchored, then share it. Leave a review. DM me on Instagram or LinkedIn at Dr. Sharalyn. You don't lead like everyone else, so your resources shouldn't look like everyone else's. Welcome to the Game Changers Leadership Collection for maximizing performance, potential, and profitability. This leadership collection features best practices, insights, and frameworks from my executive level work with high impact leaders across industries. It's designed to equip you with the clarity, tools, and strategic language needed to lead with credibility under pressure. Let's be clear. In high stakes rooms, executive presence isn't optional, it's mission critical. That's why I created the Executive Briefing Companion, your strategic script for navigating leadership's most defining moments. Whether you're in the boardroom, in front of the C-suite, or facing complex stakeholder dynamics, this tool helps you rise above the noise and lead with clarity, courage, and command. At its core is the 9 executive questions framework, a high impact structure that ensures your message cuts through uncertainty, aligns your audience, and positions you as the credible voice in the room. Think of this as your strategic battle card, the leadership intelligence you carry into the room that tests you most. Also included is the language of influence, your cheat sheet for persuasive, purposeful communication. These phrases and framing techniques are drawn from high stakes boardrooms, top tier executive coaching, and transformational leadership practices. Use this tool to strengthen your executive presence, navigate tension with calm authority, drive clarity, buy-in, and high stakes alignment, and speak with power without overpowering. You'll also get a preview of the 10 daily power skills, the high performance behaviors that fuel the world's most impactful leaders, creatives, activists, entrepreneurs, and change makers. These are not soft skills. They are strategic habits that create undeniable outcomes. You'll be able to self-assess with the high impact leadership scorecard, find your edge, close your gaps, activate your next level. And to ground your leadership in inspiration and intention, you'll receive the power of one poster, a visual reminder that one decision, one conversation, or one action can shift everything. Finally, I'm giving you access to my mini course, 7 leadership blind spots that are secretly sabotaging your culture and success, and how to eliminate them for good. Every tool in this collection is designed to elevate how you think, speak, and lead, because game changers don't follow trends, they set standards. Download the Game Changers Leadership Collection now. It's free, it's powerful, and it's built for leaders like you. I'm Dr. Sharalyn Payne, and this is your Leadership Edge. Thank you for joining me on The Game Changer with Dr. Sharalyn, where we don't follow trends, we set them, and we don't just lead teams, we shift legacies. If today's message challenged, stretched, or inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, tag it, lead through it, because real leaders don't just consume wisdom, they multiply it. Want to go deeper? Subscribe to the Ultra Influential newsletter for exclusive tools, behind-the-scenes strategy, and weekly mindset shifts for the leader ready to move nations, markets, and minds. Visit www.smpistrategies.com or send a note to leadership@smpistrategies.com. And if you're ready for next level coaching or consulting that positions you as the right leader at the right time in the right place, let's talk. This is what we do, and we do it with precision, power, and purpose. Remember, change isn't just something you lead, it's something you become. Stay bold, stay brilliant, stay a game changer.